Alright, so I'm gonna go over one trade that I took today. But first, let's go over three trades that I missed today. Um, Two I missed while the markets were opening and open, and when I was away from the computer. Um, Keeping it short, the first trade setup was this bounce here that I had. Um, Price bounce pre-market, pushed up, held, and then took off. I didn't like the way that it looked, so I wasn't too fond of taking this trade up. The 1 minute looked like trash. It looked like just trash, like you couldn't even make out the candles. But I couldn't make sense, heads or tails of what was going on right here at this level when this happened. But we were coming off of this. I think I drew this later on in a day. I think I drew that later on after after I noticed a movement happening. I did notice a lot of volume coming in around this 8:30 area, 8:35, 8:30, and it piqued my interest. And then we got above it, so I'm gonna have to make note of when we have strong volume and we're back above it or below it, that it might be a potential area for an entry, and the stop would be the lower part of that volume area, right? Because it happened again a few times in here as we moved up, and then it happened again up here when we sold off, right? And I'm gonna go through those, especially on the 1 minute chart. I'm gonna go through what I saw on the 1 minute chart. So for this first trade here that I missed, um, on the 1 minute, like I said, the 1 minute looked like trash, so I couldn't even really decipher what was going on the 1 minute. So give me a minute while I try to pull it up and bring it in. Okay, so this is the 1 minute, and there go the candles. So the candles are just looking like straight, like they're not really fluid, right? They're kind of like just here and here and here. They're not as fluid as the 5 minute. That's more of a you know fluid range, or even as the 50 minute look like craziness, but this is afterwards. But they're not fluid like this, right? They just look very tight, close, and net, especially way like over here when price was selling off. Like these are just too tight and too close. They're like two to um 3 point move. So I wasn't looking into that. I kind of just stayed away from it. But what I did miss was, like I said, we did have some strong volume come in, and then that was the highest. I think that was probably the highest volume of pre-market. So let's zoom out and clarify. Zoom out. We had some strong volume around 3 a.m. So let's do this. All right, close enough. All right. So strong volume, stayed below it. Price came back, kind of retested, and sold off. Right. Strongest volume. Right. Price stayed above it the whole time. Yep. And market opened here. On this candle, it opened up. So here, right before the market opened, I was afraid that it was just gonna dip down. The market opened up, and after that, it just never looked back. It just kept rising and rising and rising and rising until it couldn't reach this 52.18 area that I had. Right. So some setups that I saw on the 1 minute that I could have taken. I think the first one was this one here. We came up on this high end here, and we held. This is after the market open. We had this strong high volume where price looked like it should have pushed down, but it pushed it above, held, came down to it, took off again. We have one here, another peak, strong volume, price came down to it, held, took off. And then now we're coming in towards my my buy arrows down here. Then we had this strong volume here, right? Price came, couldn't stay above it, came down, couldn't get back above it, and sold off. And this is where I messed up in a sense because I was looking for a long, and then I got long right here because I had accumulation of volume, and then price broke my channel, right? So now let's go into my trade. So like I said, I had 1, 2, 3 setups, right? 1, 2, 3 setups. This happened. The price gave us. I didn't take neither one of them, and they weren't clean to me. It didn't make sense. But let's go to the trade that I took. I took the trade here. This is what my charts were looking like. I took the trade at this bounce of this volume at 5206, 5208. So that's 5206, 5208. So here, right? So I bought it here. Well, we came back to this level here, and I said, okay, well, probably if we can come back to this here and show some sign of interest, I'd get in. So I got in here when price started pushing up. Price pushed up, couldn't get back above this level. It rejected once, tried again, and then rejected again, and that's when I exit. I moved my stop loss here because I said, well, we're not gonna keep going back and forth with me. If we're either gonna go up or not. And I created this channel here. Let me pull up my chart here. I created this channel on here, right? Price kind of like dipped out. I said, oh, I'm kind of worried. Price went back in, and then it came out of it. So I moved my stop loss here, saying that, well, if price is not gonna hold, it's not gonna hold. And this is NQ, right? It was doing the same thing. ES was below its demand zone, so I was thinking that if ES can hold its demand zone, we'll get that buying happening and a sell-off happening on VIX. But we didn't get it. So price came back, it held that area, 1, 2, 3, but couldn't get back above initial balance. Once we got below initial balance, stayed below initial balance. Couldn't get above initial balance. Now, those were, like I said, I had 1 potential setup, 2, 3 setups to go long, and then 1 setup to go short. Double top, right? But I just didn't feel confident in it. I'll pull up a larger time frame to show you what the chart looked like at that time. So if it were to pop up, okay. So these are what the chart's looking like. We have the double wicks, but I didn't have any volume up here, so I wasn't interested in selling. We did get volume later on NQ, but we didn't get any true volume up there. But this is what we got. We broke out of the channel, and we broke out of that channel going up, and I was looking toward this nice pull back up. We had strong buying, as you can see on the 5-minute. Buying came in. We had blue candles from the 15, so it was giving me a lot of like potential valid reasons to stay in the trade. Like I said, it gave me confidence to stay in the trade. After this candle closed, so after I entered, here with that strong volume, at 15 minutes later, this is 11:15, so 30. So so this is this here. 30 is like here. So so after all of that, still had like a potential play happening. So I stayed in the trade, but I moved with caution because I'm not going to let it go red on me because it's not staying below. I'm getting back above this last high volume. It just wasn't. So I took my exit. If anything, I would have looked for a sell, the price to come in and reject this to sell off. But I was done trading for the day. Price did sell off hard, and it started bouncing at this level here, the 50%, which is where I thought it might go. And if you go into the Heikin Ashi, Boom. That's the last red candle we have here. Heikin Ashi. Sorry, nice line. Whoa, whoa, hold on 1 minute. Let's go to the line chart. Oh, oh, okay, okay, okay. Let's draw this. Sorry, maybe I just fell into something. New. All right, so Higanashi, red candle, Higanashi, boom, red candle, right? I said to myself, maybe NQ needs to move lower, because NQ wanted to move lower, and he kind of touched it, but ES was still way up here, and I said maybe ES needs to come down. And what did ES do? ES came down. When it finally came down to this level, finally came down to that level, it pushed up. All right, it didn't push all the way up, but it got to that level where we couldn't get above. Right, this here, we couldn't get above it, and then we finally got above it. Right, after we pushed up and we looked above, came back down. So let's see what happened here, because I didn't get a chance to look back here. So let's look and see what's happened here. So and then I'm gonna stop recording. So go back to standard charts. So here we had volume coming in. Obviously, a ton of volume. Something's down here as price bounced up so high. If you can see here, we had that 5,000 volume come again, another close to 5,000. So buyers are definitely pushing price up, and then price took off, right? So if I drew my thing here, I could have entered around here somewhere, 5202, 5204, about a 2 to 4 stop loss, right that bad boy up. So something like this perhaps, right? Boom, right? This is what I've been trying to get, right? Boom, right into that level that we couldn't get above. We hit it. And then what I was looking for kind of happened later. We had this area here. Yeah, so this is our area of rejection. So, but I wasn't too confident trading this. So I didn't trade it at all. This is towards the end of the day. As you can see, it's like the last minute of the day. I probably decided to just sell off like it had nowhere else to go but down, right? Even here, right? Boom. And the candles went back to looking like crap on the 1 minute. So the price got up here, you know, it sold off, and it did what I wanted to do on that level, and it came back to here. So it's a very interesting day. Just like yesterday and the last previous day, we came back to the 50% mark on both ES and NQ. Both at the 50%, found support and took off. Right? We did that yesterday. I'm going to just use just a 30-minute chart real quick. I'm gonna go into just a. I'm gonna get out of this so that way just keep it clear. All right, so today's Wednesday, so this is yesterday's thing here. Let me do this. Right, we have 1 and 2. Okay, so how did we do that yesterday? We came here and had a nice little bounce around noon. Let's see, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday, bounced around, came to the 50% at noon, took off. 50% took off, then sold off. Today, 50% took off. Right, and then NQ did the same exact thing, and the same exact hour at the same exact spot. NQ, right, zoom out, Monday, 50%, came, bounce. Tuesday, 50%, actually it didn't do 50%, it did top of it and then bounce and then sold off. today it did 50% and bounce, right? So initial balance is a very crazy thing, and they're just looking for those bounces. Just looking for just like a hammer or something that that's congruent with it. So yeah, that's it for me and today's